One of our top stories this morning, a Missoula man has been sentenced to 100 years in prison for drugging and sexually assaulting 9 girls between the ages of 12 and 17. The Missoulian reports Missoula District Judge Karen Townsend ruled Monday that none of 47-year-old Eric Nugent's sentence would be suspended. Nugent was convicted in April of 14 felonies for drug distribution, sexual abuse of children, sexual assault, and sexual intercourse without consent. 9 girls told authorities Nugent had given them methamphetamine, LSD, marijuana, and hallucinogenic mushrooms. Charging documents state that Nugent raped the 2 14-year-old girls while they were under the influence of drugs. Nugent apologized for his actions during his one-day hearing. Last Friday, Montana Commissioner of Political Practices Jeff Mangan dismissed a campaign finance complaint against the Engen for Missoula campaign, which claimed the campaign had failed to report corporate contributions on 2 counts, one of which involved paying only $300 for a rental space valued at $1,650. Attorney Quentin Rhodes, who filed the original complaint, said he has now sent a second complaint, which he describes as an amendment to the original, based on the commissioner's findings.
When the commissioner did his one-day investigation of that original complaint, he found that, in fact, the mayor had not rented an entire office suite for $300 a month. He had rented 1/5 of an office suite for $300 a month, and so consequently the fair market value was accurate as reported, but what was inaccurate was the reporting.
The new complaint focuses on the Engen for Missoula campaign for not reporting that they were only renting 1/5 of the space. He says the failure of the campaign to report rental expenditures in detail is similar to the violation that Tripke for Missoula campaign was found at fault for by the same political practices commissioner.
Lisa Tripke is being prosecuted for failing to comply with those disclosure requirements. And in reviewing that decision, once I realized that the mistake that the mayor's campaign made was not in accepting space that they didn't pay for, they didn't report the size of the space. And it turns out that Montana campaign finance law requires you to report the details of what you make expenditures upon.
Rhodes said the second complaint was set Monday. The Commissioner of Political Practices, though, said the complaint had not yet been received as of Tuesday morning. 19-year-old Joshua Rennie was arrested by Missoula police Monday after some store employees reported theft and also threatening behavior.
Officers were called to an incident reported at a department store in the 2400 block of North Reserve Street. Complainant there was Loss Prevention, who said that they had encountered a male in the store and were monitoring him as he apparently was grabbing items off a shelf and concealing them in what they described as an attempt to leave the store without paying for the item.
That's, of course, police spokesman Travis Welsh, who said the items were put into a backpack but was unable to specify the value of the items. The felony robbery charges in the case are from what was taken to be threatening behavior.
The employee reported that the male suspect became aware of him and took out an edged weapon, which he described as a box cutter type knife, and was flicking the blade while making eye contact with the employee. The employee stopped following the male. However, the suspect then turned and began to follow him.
Welsh said the suspect was later arrested without physical violence. However, Rennie is also facing charges for obstructing a peace officer, likely for refusing to reveal the contents of his backpack. A judge has given a reprieve to the owners of a Montana coal mine, who had warned that layoffs were imminent after the mine's expansion plans were blocked. District Judge Donald Malloy said yesterday that preparatory work in the expansion area can proceed while the mine's climate change impacts are further studied. Signal Peak Energy had said 30 workers would be laid off by the end of October and up to 150 more in coming months under a prior order from the judge. The order allows the company to remove up to 170,000 tons of coal from federal leases adjacent to its Bull Mountain mine north of Billings. The company is barred from selling or shipping the fuel until the federal government completes a new environmental analysis. Well, health insurance open enrollment begins today. Montana Insurance Commissioner Matt Rosendale said there are important changes to consider. First, all 3 companies in the exchange have dramatically raised their rates, some by as much as 23%. Second, President Trump's executive orders have also changed the landscape.
He was going to extend the duration of the short-term policies from 90 days out to 1 year. Those are policies that people can purchase that do not have all of the different mandates that the federal government has placed upon these ACA compliant plans. So there's another alternative for folks.
Rosendale said Montanans should also examine policies that cover large associations and industries that could cross state lines.
They're going to open up the ability for people to have association plans, which means that if you are in an organization and there are like organizations around the country that happen to be offering some different health plans, that you potentially could join in with those and take advantage of that.
Rosendale said healthcare customers must monitor all these programs and make a wise choice during the open enrollment period that actually closes December 15th. Get more information to the links on our website at newstalkkgvo.com. Montana Attorney General Tim Fox announced yesterday that the state has requested an expansion of an ongoing lawsuit concerning generic pharmaceutical drug manufacturers.
We were engaged in a multi-state antitrust investigation that involved an investigation into 6 pharmaceutical companies that manufacture generic drugs. And that investigation involved 2 specific types of drugs. Through the course of that investigation, we've learned that the problem is much more expansive.
The expansion of the case, including 45 other state attorneys general, expands the number of companies and the number of drugs under consideration.
This case now involves a total of 15 generic drugs, and these drugs really kind of run the gamut. Some of them treat glaucoma, some of them are antibiotics, there's high blood pressure medication, diabetes medication, and on and on. And what we're finding is that these companies and individuals have colluded among one another to fix prices.
Fox said ultimately we'll know what the fiscal impact on Montana is of the alleged misbehavior by the pharmaceutical companies. Fox says as of 2015, generic drug sales in the U.S. were at the tune of $75 billion a year. Our News Talk time now is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Look for a wintry mix of rain and snow today with our temperatures in the low 40s. Winds will be out of the west at 5 to 15 miles per hour with higher gusts likely. Tonight, a light accumulation of up to 2 inches of snow will be possible. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.